Welcome everybody to our second session. Today we're going to be talking about the natural approach. So to begin, the natural approach was developed by Tracy Terrell and Stephen Krashen. These two guys have been making a lot of research on second language acquisition, and this is how they came up with the natural approach. Later on, we will be discussing about 5 hypotheses that they discovered while doing their research. So this method is based on language teaching. They are providing teachers ideas or some elements on what involves for learners to learn a second language. This method claims that language must be developed naturally. So this has to do a lot with how we learn our native language. So let's think of Spanish. When we are learning Spanish, there's no focus on grammar. I mean, our parents are not telling us you are missing a subject, you are not doing good conjugation of this verb. So you see, this involves a lot of free learning environment. People do not feel threatened to be in this kind of activities. The first hypothesis is the acquisition learning hypothesis. And to begin, we need to think of, we need to make a difference between language acquisition and language learning. First, what is language acquisition? Well, as you can see in this picture, you see the mother and the baby trying to set up a conversation. When you do this, I mean, the baby just produces sounds, or as the baby develops speech, I mean, the baby just will produce some basic words, I mean, survival words. So this is very informal and natural learning. And as I mentioned before, there's no focus on grammar. I mean, because we don't want to overwhelm our children in making corrections. I mean, we want to listen to them. We are interested in hearing their words. So that's why we don't care much about grammatical corrections. Then we have language learning. So the difference is that in language acquisition, we don't focus on grammatical structures. But when we do language learning, this has to do with a lot of study of grammar. And as you can see, this occurs consciously through explicit or formal learning and instruction, resulting in explicit knowledge about the language. So in this language learning, you are aware about grammatical structures, about the use of tenses. You have all this knowledge. So this will be the two basic difference between language learning and language acquisition. We also have our second hypothesis, which is the natural order. In here, grammar is acquired in a logical sequence. And as you can see here, you go from simple to complex. So it means that if you want to teach some grammar, you are aware that yes, no questions will come before WH questions. It will be difficult for the student to get or to grasp very complex structures in a very basic level. So that's why there should be an order to teach grammatical structures. The monitor hypothesis. Well, the monitor allows a learner to alter a grammatical form. How is this possible? Well, the learner can do it before producing a speech, and this is about conscious application of rules. Okay? So I know how to use a rule, and then I make an analysis before producing speech. And there's the other way that a student can monitor is after producing speech. And then you realize that probably you did something wrong. I mean, you misused a grammatical form. So this is all about self-correction. This also has to do with pronunciation. Now we have the input hypothesis. In the input hypothesis, we talk about the comprehensible input, and this is represented by the I+1. The comprehensible input is material that is beyond the current level of knowledge of our students. So this is about challenging people. I mean, you have a basic group, but you're going to bring material that is like for in an intermediate group, intermediate one, let's say. So your purpose here is to bring real material that will challenge the understanding of your students. And the last one is the affective filter hypothesis. As you notice in these images, this has to do a lot with emotions and affective factors, and it is said that affective factors will affect acquisition, not learning. So you see, if in class you have bored students, maybe someone anxious, or a person that is extremely nervous, or as you can see here, someone that is reluctant to learn the language, so in these cases learning won't occur. Okay, so there won't be acquisition because there are barriers that are affecting the understanding of the student. So you see, when all this happens, these factors will prevent information to reach the second language areas of the brain. It will be so difficult for this information, for all the information that you bring to the class, to enter to their brain, that it will be definitely blocked. So guys, this has been a little bit of the natural approach. Later on in the platform, you will see some activities we'll be developing about this presentation and the other material that I have uploaded. And I will appreciate that if you have questions, send me an email. You can comment on our WhatsApp group. Okay, so I hope to receive some feedback about this presentation. Thank you guys.